You have a quorum right on the number. Kate said she was going to call in, but she hasn't called in yet. And we're live on Facebook and YouTube.
So do we have somebody on the phone?
No, we do not yet, but the line's open in case Kate joins.
Okay. Sorry, should have been prepared more.
So you can go ahead and get started whenever you're ready, Mr.
So we're
Dillon.
missing 2 and got 3, right?
Right, so you have a quorum present.
Smallest committee left in the...
It is the smallest committee.
Okay, seeing that it's past the 4 o'clock hour, we'll call this meeting to order. First meeting or order of business is the approval of the June 23rd minutes. Brian.
Kate Pastisha joined.
Second by Sharon. All those in favor? Aye. Do you want it that way or do you want a roll call? That's fine. Okay.
Right.
Then I'll take a motion to allow Kate to participate via conference. Sharon? Brian? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Thanks, Kate, for calling in.
Hi, thanks.
Next is reports. Unless anybody has anything under questions for the Planning Commission, safe structures or development summary, we'll just receive and file those. Those will be received and filed. Zoning case 024-20-U, petition of Julie Varnold. Is there a motion to put this on the floor? Brian. Second by Sharon. Kathy.
This is a special use request from Julie Varnold to operate a major home
Hey,
occupation.
Kathy, can you make sure the microphone is on and then talk a little louder so that Kate can hear you?
That's on. Okay. This is a special use request from Julie Varnold to operate a major home occupation from a 1.3 acre parcel in the A2 Agriculture Zoning District. Ms. Varnold would like to operate a pet grooming business and also to vary from 3 major home occupation standards at this location. The parcel is located on State Route 40, north of Park School Road in Medina Township. There are 0 objections and 1 consent on file, and the parcel does currently have a dwelling and a detached garage. The surrounding zoning is all A2 agriculture, and those parcels are being used agriculturally as well. The pet grooming business is being requested along with 3 variations to employ 2 workers not related to the family residing on the premises. The ordinance allows for 1 employee outside of the residence. To open the business at 8 a.m., the ordinance allows for opening at 9 a.m. And to operate the business from a 432 square foot accessory structure. The ordinance allows for using a 1,000 square foot accessory structure, but for storage purposes only. The petitioner has indicated she expects 16 vehicle trips per day. The parcel is served by existing private septic system and public water. The health department does not have an objection to the new location within an accessory structure. However, they would like to see the petitioner move her existing business from inside her home. She moved into her home after her business was shut down at another location due to COVID-19. So the home was just kind of a stopgap while she worked on this request. The new proposed shed will be located behind an existing detached garage. They'll use an existing circular driveway. IDOT has commented they do not have an objection. However, they will need to bring that driveway up to commercial standards, and the petitioner is aware and working with IDOT on that. The special use is consistent with their Peoria County growth strategies. Staff recommended approval with 5 restrictions. The first 4 are actually ordinance requirements that are just clarified for the sake of the petitioner. The 5th is actually the IDOT requirement that the special use be contingent upon reconstruction of that driveway to commercial standards. Zoning board recommended approval with those same restrictions.
Questions? Kathy, sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I'm just thankful we got this worked out for these people because I was in touch with them for several times and they were kind of up against the the gun, when they got shut down there in Peoria during the COVID thing. So they're about a mile from our farm, and I'm just thankful that it worked out for them.
So 4, you don't usually see that very often, though. I don't feel like the requirement to make sure that it's connected to wastewater. So it's on a septic. Is that just requiring the out structure to
Right,
connect to
so-
the current septic? And the health department's done the calculations that current septic field can handle.
It's because of the waste from the actual dogs. So the current septic could not allow, the current wastewater within the house could not allow for that without some corrections. They didn't want to do those corrections because that wasn't their plan. They wanted to move it out to the accessory structure anyway. So they're going to bring the shed up to the Chapter 19 Health Department standards for the septic system.
So what would that be, like a cistern out back that they're going to pump it from, or is it a new septic field that has to get put
I
in?
don't actually think they indicated on their letter, but let me double check.
I'm just curious because it says the business cannot start operate. For those watching at home, if anybody is, it would be said the business cannot. Number 4 is the business cannot start operations until the wastewater can properly be disposed of per Chapter 19. I'm just wondering what the owner's remedy is to this situation.
So the health department letter actually just referenced Chapter 19.7, the use of proper on-site wastewater treatment system required, just stating that it's they must operate an on-site wastewater treatment system in such a manner that it becomes, or not, so that it becomes offensive, dangerous, or prejudicial to the public health, so that they just need to meet the requirements of Chapter 19.7. So they did not indicate what the correction would be, but that they would need to come into compliance with Section 19.7 of the Health Department's.
Well, I'd just like to make sure that owner knows that they have to come into compliance
Yeah,
with
that-
this before that they open, because
Well, the Health Department's actually met them on the site, talked them through what they needed to do. The owner is aware and testified that they were working with the Health Department to get the proper permits.
okay, I'll be willing to vote for this today and go forward and more than likely support it, but I would like to see maybe some more answers, if they have answers for our county board meeting, to actually say, are they planning on, what is their protocol to make this safe for public health with either the septic field or cistern, or
All right, I'll get this for you.
I guess in the way that, as an information. But I think I'm not opposed to the project. I just would like an answer to that question of, and I don't think they usually typically create, there's going to be the bathing of the animal, creating like gray water from that, or dark water from that. But then, well, that would be gray water. But it's not like, I guess it'd be similar requirements to what you're going to have for a kennel type situation with, it just seems, because I'm assuming you're going to have to go in and hose the facility and do everything else. So there's going to be quite a bit of water that's used in one of these facilities, I would imagine.
I'll get that information for you.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it.
I'm an aye.
Thanks, Kate. Next is case number 28-20-V, petition of Josh Watson as an agent for USCOC of Central Illinois. Is there a motion to put this on the floor? Brian? Sharon?
The petitioner, USCOC of Central Illinois, is requesting 2 variances for a telecommunication tower. The first is a variance from the required maximum height of 75 feet for a telecommunication carrier facility in a residential zoning district. The petitioner would like to install a 195-foot tower at this location, resulting in a variance request of 120 feet. The second variance is a request from the required setback of 50% of the height of the structure from the nearest residentially zoned lot. The petitioner is requesting to install that at 82 feet and 1 inch from the residential lot to the north, which is a variance request of 15 feet 5 inches. This parcel is located on Kerner Road in Kickapoo Township. It is also adjacent to I-74, which is to the south of the parcel. There are no consents or objections on file. The parcel that is to the north, which would be the parcel closest to the setback request, is owned by the same person who owns this parcel. The tower company has chosen this site based upon the topography of the area, their need to increase capacity and provide continuous service to the area. The highway department had no objections, although they will require permits for oversized or overweight loads, and they will need coordination for access to the actual parcel. The zoning board recommended approval of 4-0.
Questions for Kathy? So Kathy, there's about 5 houses, it looks like, on that vicinity on that side of the highway.
Right.
So just for the sake of everybody in the committee, we've notified all adjoining properties. So to have 0 consents and 0 objections, I just want to make it clearly publicly known because that there was a hearing, people were notified, because sometimes you see things going on and then
Right.
people
yes,
might object at a later point. But if you do look at the topography, it's butting up to woods right next to the interstate with 5 houses. I would imagine that neighbor had talked to all the neighbors around there.
Yeah. So yes, the adjacent owners were notified, and there were 5 of those. There was a sign placed on the property, and then it was also published in the newspaper. One other thing to add about that setback variance for the fall zone is this tower is designed with a break point. So if there is a wind force, it should actually just collapse like right on top of itself instead of falling. So it would stay within the parcel boundaries.
And then I guess the last question would be, we're still not technically open to the public for them with petitioners? Could they come or not come at this point?
The petitioner did come and testify. We are having in-person ZBA.
Okay,
with
so the
limited
petition, I
people.
just usually like to make sure that the petitioner, especially in situations like this with towers and stuff, that they show an interest of coming to the board instead of just thinking that it's going to get passed with nobody, because if it goes up in Brian's district, Brian's going to have to deal with the phone calls that comes from it. So,
And he was willing to come to this hearing if needed.
okay, that's all I really wanted to know, is that he was willing to come to the meeting, which in today's time I understand why you wouldn't want to come, but if he was willing, that's all I really wanted to understand. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Anything under miscellaneous? I think, and I'll let Kathy speak on if I'm wrong, but I think if you saw the published reports for Ellen had given out this week, there's a lot of variances, but there's no actual cases that would require us to have a meeting next month. So more than likely we will not have even though there was 7 or 8 variants, there was quite a few variances on the list. None of those are required to come to us. They only go to the ZBA.
Right.
So most likely we will not have this committee meeting next month unless something pops up that we would need to change.
We do have a filing date where a subdivision waiver could possibly come forward, but we're not expecting that at this time.
Anything else for the sake of the order? All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Kate Pastisha.
Left.
Ellen, if you just leave it there, I can get it to her, Brian. Yeah.